Femina, and we are live
Yeah.
for the third time already.
Yeah, it's going
Uh,
good.
yes, and yesterday we were a little bit late at
Hmm.
9 p.m. our time. I think that was quite a stretch for me, but it was all right. And today we are trying out a lunch session. And I'm pretty stoked that a friend, Lucas, will be joining us. At least he mentioned that on Twitter. And so we have an audience, and I'm looking very much forward to this. Yeah, these sessions are also to test the technology. For example, right now I can see Femina's phone, but here
It's
you are back.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, we're using a service called Melon app, and
Yeah.
so far it's pretty good and stable, but sometimes we'll see how it behaves.
Yeah.
So we are still in this 5 minute, if you want, motivation
Hmm.
or break period.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a 25-minute Pomodoro session.
Hmm.
And yeah, Femina, what will you be working on today?
Today I think I will continue reading some research articles for my university courses. Because I kind of changed the trajectory yesterday, so I need to work on it today.
Okay,
So yeah, that's on my agenda for today.
nice.
Yeah.
And for me, today, for a change, I'm going to I'll go through a few newsletters of mine that I
Okay.
like very much. It's obviously both a guilty pleasure or a
Hmm.
pleasure, but
Yeah.
also related or what the source where I get most of my knowledge, I would say,
Yeah.
from. So I
Hmm.
prepared, I already loaded them up on the browser.
Hmm.
And in the Pomodoro sessions, I will go through them and
Yeah.
add the things that stand out to me to
Hmm.
trickle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, the idea here is that the people that are tuning into this stream can
Mhm.
work on their own topics,
Yeah.
either curating things that they came across during the week.
Mhm.
They can connect things or just write them down in their knowledge system.
Yeah.
I'm using Trickle for that. I'm also experimenting with Obsidian here in these
Mhm.
sessions, right?
Yeah.
Some basically transferring my notes from my quick capture tool
Mhm.
to Obsidian
Mhm.
and to, yeah, write a little bit more about them. And
Yeah.
then I typically take the insights and put them into Trickle.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, and there are many other things you can do, but this session gives a little bit accountability. It is live, a live stream
Yeah.
that is also recorded. We said
Mhm.
yesterday that probably we are going to delete the recorded streams from time to time. It's not supposed to stay online for years to come,
Yeah.
but it can be helpful actually to have recorded sessions like this because it
Yeah.
allows you, if you want to do 4 pomodoros, for example, you just go to a recording in the past and hit
Mhm.
play,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you can uh, do another round basically with
Yes.
this feeling of async, or hopefully not the feeling, right? It should feel more or less the same as if you would listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video, but you can do it asynchronously. Okay, so with that being said, I think I will start the first uh, session.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
let me move that down here. I share the stream. It's always fun to see this here in this
Yeah.
streaming app. And yeah, here is my trickle, and here are the newsletters that I already loaded. And
Mhm.
then I would say, here we go. See you in
Perfect.
25 minutes, Femina.
See you.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So that was the first sprint. How did it go for you?
It went good. I completed the podcast that I was listening to. Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me?
So that was yes. The first sprint. How did it go for you? But I hear a recording. It seems like there's some.
I completed the
Can
podcast
it be
that I
that
was.
something is open in the background?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. So I was saying that I completed the podcast that I was listening to yesterday.
Mhm.
And then I just started looking at the research articles that I have to go through. So I'll start
Mhm.
that in the next sprint. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was
What about you?
reading up on the newsletters, and
Mm-hmm.
I can show you here. It's this more or less method that I always have with the newsletters. That
Mm-hmm.
I open them on the web and
Mm-hmm.
read through them and basically skim through them. And here, this is one that I did now in the session. And then the articles that stand out to me, I
Mm-hmm.
add them to Trickle. I connect them with a newsletter issue.
Right.
And then they are not only connected to the newsletter issue, but sometimes I connect them to other things as well. For example, the topics, here in this case, spaceflight and future.
Mm-hmm.
Often I also connect them with something like my later list, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically my reminder to get back to this and
Yeah.
look at it in full.
Mm-hmm.
And and the interesting part is then in the end, I have this summary basically, right? Right, it's pretty straightforward about the topics that not every article, but quite a few. And if you look
Mm-hmm.
at the last episodes of this or past issues of this newsletters, they're shown
Right.
here in the related connections because they have the same domain.
Mm-hmm.
I can look here, for example, I have 12 connections. And if I look at them like this, I actually remind myself, or Trickle reminds me or helps me to remember very quickly what was the content of this
Yeah.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
actually, that's much faster than scanning here this newsletter, which more or less looks similar, right? Especially
Yeah.
in the structure. And there's one visual, but not one visual for every
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
link.
Yeah.
Oh, this was really fun. Yeah. So yeah, that was that. It's obviously usually I do this in the evening when I'm winding down a little bit, but it's quite a pleasure to do this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So, whoops, going back here, playing a little bit with
Mm-hmm.
the streaming studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, one more session. We stick to that schedule, right?
Yeah.
That after 5-minute breaks, we go
Yeah.
back into the subject. Oh, I stand up.
Okay.
Higher, which is always good to use these pomodoros for a little change in posture,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
stretch a little,
Yeah.
and then we can jump into the next session. For
Perfect.
you, what's the concrete plan?
Concrete plan is to go through the research articles from
Mhm.
a course that I want to decide whether I want to take it or not. So, yeah, I'll be going through that. It's called Economics of Innovation. So, the articles I'm supposing are going to be interesting, but let's see.
Okay. Will you
Yeah.
take some notes or just browsing through?
Right now, I don't think I'll take any notes because I have to first decide whether I'll take the course or not.
Yes.
So then taking notes will be the next step.
Okay.
Um,
Good. So
mhm.
then let's jump in.
Yeah.
I'll prepare, share the screen here. That's our break time,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then we
Hmm.
continue the next session. See you in a bit.
See you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Femina,
Yeah. How was it?
I think we're done, nearly done with the second sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. It was interesting. Usually, I'm not used to reading newsletters
Mm-hmm.
as a kind of main main task,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it was nice. It was a nice experiment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm, and yeah, I came across quite a few interesting subjects again. It's always
Mm-hmm.
nice to add something to the stack, to the topics that I'm interested in, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have also some follow-up, let's say, activity, or have we all don't have a problem, I think, with our later lists and read it later and watch
Yeah.
later lists and so on.
Yeah.
And now I have a few there as well.
Mm-hmm. All
How
right.
about you?
That's good. I got like a flavor of what the course is all about, and it seems interesting to me, and I think I'm gonna go for it and see how it goes. Yeah. Because I feel like I'll be able to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Mhm.
um, we said that maybe we are going to do some, let's say, after session
Yeah.
chats in
That's,
the future. We could
yeah.
talk a little bit about certain aspects of knowledge
Hmm.
management, about like how we organize our knowledge.
Yeah.
Um, for me, this session is a good example. I already hinted at that
Yeah.
um, while we talked in the last break. That usually my first step is to curate. I think
Hmm.
to just save it somewhere.
Right.
The things that stand out to me,
Hmm.
they for me they represent also a certain knowledge, right? They
Yeah.
um, here's a good article, for example, a new one about intermittent fasting, and
Hmm.
I'm doing this from time to time, and again, this is a great reminder and a great, let's say, item, right? That I have now an entity that I can
Yeah.
put, in some context
Yeah.
to be reminded of that again, right? So
Yeah.
over time, more and more articles about intermittent fasting are accumulated here in my trickle in this case, and this is just like a Pinterest board a little bit, or like a
Hmm.
right,
Yeah.
like a long list. But if I click on the items, then I see the connections, and
Hmm.
that's really a big advantage and something I can build up on, and I can go deeper and deeper over time.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, but I think we leave it at that for now. Again, this is
Yeah.
mostly like
I
ramping
think
it
we
up,
had Lucas
testing
with
it.
us today.
Sorry.
I think we had Lucas with us today.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
We have a few messages from him in the chat. I think
Oh,
he joined
cool.
via YouTube. So I
Wow,
hope it
that's
was
so
good for
great.
him as well. Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. And
Yeah.
Lucas does a wonderful
Hmm.
co-working session as well
Hmm.
on Thursdays. And this is where I experienced actually for the first time how useful it can be to be in this situation, in
Right.
this accountability group of
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, it's always I'm always working more when I join these sessions um,
Hmm.
in the time
Yes.
that
Hmm.
they are. It's yeah,
Yeah.
just
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
very, very helpful. Good.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for today. And
Hmm.
we have another session. Maybe I can show this here. I just added this to our, here we have the PKM Coworking. At the moment, it's just a Notion document,
Yeah.
but it's you find it under um, PKM bit.ly/PKM Coworking. And
Hmm.
here, similarly, Luma/PKM Coworking. The link is then also here. There you find our event page, basically. And you see
Yeah.
here that tomorrow, Friday, We have
Yeah.
our session at 5, and this is then translated in your respective time. If you look at this page, we will add more sessions here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's still a test, a prototype, and
Mm-hmm.
so we work with this very simple technique for now.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Then
Okay.
thank you so much, Femina.
Thank you.
Big shout out to Lucas, and
Yeah.
see you soon.
Yeah.